Okay, so I'm having a rather large mole problem, and what would happen each time I would set a plunger trap, it never was deep enough. There was always these mounds. I would put the plunger trap in top of the mounds, and they would be triggered, yet I would never get a mole. So upon doing a little research, number one, we used a lot of grub-x, and come to find out, pretty much a waste of money because a mole's primary diet, 92% in fact, are earthworms. That according to the University of Michigan study on moles. So what I decided to do was to dig down and find their tunnel, because they were rather deep and the mounds would be rather high, so no way would the tines on the plunger trap ever reach them. So let's check this trap here. Being I dug down, moles don't like light, and contrary to a lot of belief, moles are not blind. They just have very small eyes, and they're small to protect them while digging, and they don't need eyes because they live their life underground. So let's see what we have here, and I'll explain what I did. Well, the trap has been triggered, so that means I should have a mole down there. And I honestly wish there was a more humane way to do this, but unfortunately there's not. I could trap them possibly with some type of a live trap, then take them, drop them somewhere, and they just become someone else's problem. So I don't want to do that. So let's see if I have a false trigger or if we actually have a mole. Now, as you can see, this trap is rather deep, and either the mole is dead or I missed it. So I'm going to have to get a shovel and dig down and see if there isn't a mole down there. Okay, I'm going to take a shovel and see if we actually have anything or not. And there it is. We actually do have a mole right there. I hope his death was instant and it didn't cause a great deal of pain. But as you can see, he's a pretty big fella. They dig deep and they push the mounds up. And the mounds, what happens when they push it up enough times, the mound becomes very fine, like so, and these plunger traps, when you go to set them, will just pop right back up. So what I done, I'll put him aside here, was I dug down to where, until I found their hole, their run. Which is actually I would say that's 10 inches deep. So what I did was I set my trap, triggered the trap a couple times to make sure the tines would go down. I lined the tines up with the two holes, and then I filled those holes in down in right there is one, and the other one is almost straight across from it. So you can see, you can maybe see how far down these holes actually are. Here's one where my finger is, and then the other one is right there where my finger is. So the mole comes this direction here. Sorry about all that extra noise. So what I did was I dug it out until I found those holes. And then I set my trap a ½ inch above the hole, about there. So, and then push dirt into both holes so they would have to burrow out, thus pushing up the trap and engaging the trap. This is the only way I can catch these puppies. This is my first one this year like this, but they've been driving me crazy. So anyone that uses the plunger trap and they're trying to stick the plunger trap in the top of the mound of dirt that they create, forget that. Dig down, find their holes, find their tunnels, set the trap approximately a ½ inch above the highest tunnel, put dirt back in those holes to make sure they have to burrow out, and they will trigger that trap. I do have a cinch trap set. I've already checked it and I've got nothing. Those are the ones that goes right into the hole itself. So I will probably try that. I don't know how many moles I have. I don't have the best yard in the world, but I don't have the worst either. But these guys are not making it any better. So if that has helped anyone, I hope it has. I want you to save your money on grub-x. Moles do not, moles, about 8% of their diet is grubs. And to them, a grub is a delicacy. They eat earthworms. Don't kill your earthworms. And like I say, I wish there was a better way, a more humane way to get rid of these little guys. They're furry and cute, but boy, they do a lot of damage. So, if this has helped anyone, I hope so, because they are a son of a gun. Oh, and by the way, I cover the hole with a bucket to keep pets away. They say, and I don't know who they are, but I have read that if a mole sees light, he will turn and go the other way. I honestly don't know if that's true or not, but for safety reasons and for that little bit of information I had found, I go ahead and I cover it with a bucket. Again, good mole hunting.